Hello, my name is Alex Clausen. I'm the Interim Assistant Dean for Faculty, and this is a presentation about a very helpful source for students called Noodletools.com. And I'm presenting this to you as a way to help with creating your reference entries and your in-text citation. So, of course, citation is one of the most challenging parts of APA just because there are so many sources out there. There are so many different kinds of sources. Back in the day when I was an undergraduate student, basically you had periodicals, um, books, and pamphlets and things like that. There was really a limited number of sources that you would be able to draw information from. Because of the internet and all the resources that are online, there are just an increasing number of types of sources, and each type of source has a slightly different format. Um, so I encourage students to use a citation builder because I would rather you have correct citation with little headache than to have incorrect citation and lots of headache. So the entire website as a whole is a good resource for helping students write, but and it's a subscription service altogether, but if you go down to the bottom under Tools and Resources and select Noodletools Express, this is actually free. So you would just click on that, you would choose the form that you want to use, which would be APA, and then the type of source that you are going to be citing. It's not that difficult. This is a very important question because clearly, if you don't know what kind of source it is, if you choose the wrong source and you enter information, it's going to give you an incorrect or inaccurate reference entry, though it's probably not going to be way off, but it'll be slightly off. So choosing the right kind of source is important. Luckily for you guys, because most of your papers are going to be written using peer-reviewed articles, that pretty much tells you what kind of source you're going to look for. So it would be here in the periodicals. But I'm going to be doing a website. I'm going to be doing a citation for a website. So I'll click on the website and then create citation, and then the rest of it is just filling in the missing information. So I have a URL. This is from the Purdue OWL. So I'm going to put in the URL, and you would just capture this from the little hypertext box where the web address is. And what I like about this is as you put your cursor in the box, it this other box pops up and it gives you information um, that you need to consider when completing the box. So for instance, name of the website, it tells you that normally you would leave this blank, and only provide the name of the website as a whole if it is not clear from the URL or author you are supplying. Since it is basically clear from the URL, I'm going to go ahead and leave that blank. The other very important thing that it tells you is about capitalization. This is one of those tricky things that a lot of people don't pay attention to, but capitalization in a citation is not necessarily the same as the capitalization that you would see in the source itself. So this tells you that you would only capitalize the first significant words. So this would be similar to the way that a title of a book is capitalized when you look at the cover of a book. But again, since the name of the source is clear from the URL, I'm just going to leave that blank. If I go down to date of publication and put my cursor inside there, it tells you the date of the e-publication or copyright. Do not use the site-wide footer copyright date. Take a look at the source that I'm looking at. So there's an last edited, that is not a publication date. And the only dates they have are the ones in the footer, which it tells me not to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that one blank. And in many cases with a website, you probably wind up leaving the date blank unless it's, for instance, an online newspaper article or something like that, in which case the publication date will be clear. The most recent date of access, if it's today, And this is why I recommend that when you do citation for a source, that you create the citation as you are using the source. Um, it may be that later on, it'll make it easier for you to put together your reference page. And it doesn't take a lot of time to do this. It's easier to do it as you're writing the paper than to go back and try to create all the citations. So what you can do is, as you are writing the paper, if you integrate a source, go ahead, open up noodletools.com, do the work with it to create your citation, and then save that citation maybe at the end of your document of the rough draft, and then you can go back later on and edit it. So if you click on today, it will put today's date in. Um, then the contributors, this is going to be whether it's an author or an editor or anything like that. I don't have that information from the Purdue OWL. If I were to put my cursor in here, again, it would give you tips on what to put in the boxes, but because of the nature of the Purdue OWL, there's no clear author or editor. And then description of the format. Again, if you put your cursor in here, it gives you help with um, what you would put in that box if you have that information. In this case, I don't have that information. The web page or document article title, I'm going to go back, and this page is called MLA Formatting and Style Guide. Again, if you look in this box, it tells you the capitalization. Capitalized sentence style. So only the first word um, of it, and then any proper nouns would be capitalized. So it was called MLA Formatting and Style Guide. There's no translation. If there were, you would put that in there. And then you go down and click on Submit. And this gives me my reference entry. Sorry, it's going to be a little bit cut off because I didn't open my window enough. So I can just copy that and then paste it onto, um, sorry, you can just then copy and paste. Now this text right here is Courier. APA 5th edition and before, Courier was an acceptable form. APA has moved towards using Times New Roman only, so when you put it on your reference page, you'll have to change it to Times New Roman 12 point. The other thing that is helpful here is the in-text. This is the part that goes in the body of your paper, and if you click on this parenthetical in-text, it will pop up, or right, there you go. It will pop up and it tells you what it should look like. So it's right here. So a parenthetical reference to this website might look like, and it's right there. And then you can copy and paste that and put it into the body of your paper. So, and then it also gives you examples of how you can place it, whether you're going to use um, um, a signaling phrase or if there are multiple authors. So overall, I find it to be a very helpful resource for creating citation. And then if you're ready to do another citation, you don't have to go back to the beginning. You can just go down here, choose the kind of source your next, the type of source your next one is, and then click citation, and it brings you back into the form. And that's it.